Today, I'm going to show you how to make some serious bank in Need for Speed Heat. This game is quite easy to make money, and they've actually changed it a little bit compared to how it used to be in Need for Speed Payback. And also, they changed it since we actually did the last video, so hence we're doing an updated money guide. Some of you may have just received the game for Christmas, and I am here. Don't worry, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to get the most expensive cars in the game, because I have most of them, including this one. The first way I'm going to show you on how to make money is by jumping into the crew time trials. Now, for this, you need to be in an actual physical crew. There's a lot of different variations of a crew in this game, but ultimately you need to be a certain rep level and eventually you get put into an actual starter crew. Or if you're in a crew like this one, you might be in a little bit of trouble because we're pretty good in here. Now, what we have to do is go into any of these events, and as you can see, you need to find ones that you either haven't done or you've not done very well at so far. You're also looking out for the shortest time on the event too. That helps a lot. So I'm gonna make this as simple as I possibly can. This is method number 1. There are multiple methods that we can do. This speed check event, I'm not exactly sure I'm going to do very well compared to an RSR, but let's get it gone. So the idea is get yourself doing the time trial, get right to the end, and then we'll do something a little bit differently. If you've just started or you've just joined a new crew, then these events are going to be a lot easier for you. If you actually really don't care what crew you're in, it's definitely recommended to join a brand new crew because you can get some nice, easy times to get going. Look at that RSR. Pull on me. This is unfair. So all you got to do is beat the ghost that you have, which you can see mine is quite a bit of competition. Once you get pretty close to the end of the event, what you need to do is actually slow yourself down. Watch the ghost and beat the ghost. Not quite like that. He's coming, and beat him, yes! This time we actually win, but what we need to do is just beat them. As you can see, very, very minimal win there, and we got a nice, well, 30,000. It should have been a little bit more. But the shorter events, the more times you beat them, which some of them are sub 1 minute very, very easily. You beat people every single time you go through the event, and then you'll find yourself stacking up some money. And that is currently the quickest way to make money. This next way is how I make my money. So this was patched and changed a bunch of different times, but I don't think it was actually meant to be patched per se, is just doing races. So later on in the game, you can actually earn serious amounts of cash from just doing normal races alone. So if we actually go over to this event here, if you're playing with friends, you can get yourself a nice meaty 90,000 for completing this event. You know how we do. If you do not have people to play with and you want to have someone to play with on Need for Speed Heat, because it makes the experience so much more fun and also makes money quite a bit easier. Leave all your online IDs down below in the description. Tell them what platform you're playing and if you are free to do some racing. There's something that happens when you actually start doing these events. The money reduces. But there's a way to solve that. You used to have to go to the garage, and then they made it so you have to go to the lobby, but now you just have to go to the garage again. So this event is the one I start with. It gives you a decent amount of money. I then move over to Port Murphy, in where there is a couple of events, mainly this one. It gives you 70,000 here. This event here gives you another 70,000. Moving up further again, we've got a 65,000 event, which is also quite fun to do, and another 75 event. This event right here gives you the most money for the least amount of time, so that's definitely one to jump on. Now, one I actually quite like to do recently, this event gives you the most amount of money for the least amount of effort, and not only that, it leads up to another event. So if you do this one, it takes about 2 minutes 50 seconds, which gives you 76,000, and then you can begin this next event right here because it ends you right there, and you can do this one because it ends you right there, and you can do this one because it ends you right. You get 4 events very quickly in rapid succession. That gives you a quite big chunk of money, especially if you're doing it with other players. This car is definitely not anywhere near the fastest car. We know this for a fact, but because this event is actually, well, all these 4 events are really, really simple events. They're all pretty straightforward. You just need something that can go pretty quick in a straight line. Other than events at all, that's absolutely awful. It's a pretty high-speed event, which normally you don't actually get when you're racing through the city. Normally through the city, it slows you down quite a lot. This is definitely my favorite way to be making money right now, doing these 4 events, or in fact, just doing all the events around the map, especially with friends, because you can have a chat and have a laugh and have a play while you're all crashing into each other and frustrating each other very much. These 4 events also feel like the least effort. There's a lot less turning involved than most of the events, which makes life a lot easier. 500 yards remaining on this event. If we take this corner... Oh, that was amazing. Congratulations. Brilliant job there. This event, solo... 76,000. And I said it'll be more like 90,000 if you do it with one friend. As I mentioned, 69,000. This event, we're on it right here. And there's now one particular problem. So let's say we've completed all these events now. If you go to this event here, which is the first one we did, is now down to 57,000. So all you need to do is jump to the garage, which is very simple. Back in the garage, go on the map. Very simple. Just press the touchpad and boom, the event is back at its normal rate. And it's actually very easy to drive to this event from this location. Something else to note is that make sure you are actually in a crew. As you can see, money and heat and rep bonuses are a thing if your crew levels up. This grid here will give you a nice idea that you can get a 10% cash bonus from having a level 50 crew, which you don't even have to get to level 50. You can have people that are already level 50, like me. Now, I wouldn't say this is the best way to make money coming up next, but it's a fun one, right? That's right. The final method is collectibles. There are some flamingos around the map, which I swear I've got this one before. Some flamingos around the map that all you have to do is smash into them and they give you 2,500 bank. Now, this might not seem like a very massive amount of money that you get per flamingo, because quite frankly, some of them are quite distanced apart. But what they also do is give you special unlocks for finding all of them and some reputation, which helps you get to that level 50 crew faster, which means you're going to get more money from doing those events. And also, going through speed traps, that's actually a good idea. Honestly, they're really, really easy to find. They're not hidden massively well. In fact, when you drive past them, they appear on your mini-map. Where's this one? It's just right there. I just flipped my car in the process. Oh, I just completed the raceway 100%. Very cool. That's going to give me some more percentage on my completion. I actually, in fact, don't have all the collectibles available. If you want to see a collectible video, let me know. Subscribe. So this would be a little bonus money-making method that I'm actually going to use to kind of give you an idea of how kind of easy it is to make money in the game, and also things that you can keep redoing to try and get a very high amount of money. I say very high amount of money. You're going to get pretty much pennies through doing this, but it's a good way. Say you've got one final part left to get, which I'll get into in a second. The ultimate plus part, say you're a couple of thousand off. Boosting back and forth through this event right here is the perfect way to do it. Now, I've actually not even completed this event yet because it's not really high speed, but it's one of those that I've not done many of these events yet. I've not done many of the collectibles. I'm mostly about doing those actual full events. But every single time I go through, you can see that I get at least 2,600-ish from doing it. Do that a couple of times. Let's say 10 times. We got a nice 26 grand, which if I need a body mod, a few body, without fully customized visuals of a car. But for some reason, it just keeps on going. It would be nice if they actually made these events make a little bit more, because then it would be a lot more viable to just be driving back and forth constantly all the time. Now, something else worth mentioning is that if you have many cars, like me, I have 42 cars, which I would say is a very good amount in this game. If you have at least, let's say, 10 cars, I can pretty much confirm that you don't use all of them, and you've built some of them and you're never really planning to use them again. What I would highly, highly recommend, like my Regera, for example, is jump in to the customization options, go to the performance, and rip out those ultimate parts if you can. In this case, we can't take them from this car, but if you've got things that you've put on yourself, for example, I can take off this supercharger if I want to, take those parts off because you can reuse them on every single car that you have in your collection, which means you save a lot of money. Now, technically, this is not a money-making method, but it's a money-saving method, if you will, because it will save you from buying countless parts that can honestly waste money when you already have them. Thankfully, due to this update, you can actually just choose to equip the item or buy a duplicate. Make sure that you have taken a part off of another car before you just go out and buy them. I've got way too many ultimate parts across my cars. I honestly should get better myself at taking them off the cars I don't any longer use. But that concludes my money guide. So what I would say is do your time trials while you can. If you don't want to leave your crew, do the races. And when you've done the races, do the collectibles. They give you some bonus cars too. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any other tips that you want to give yourself, that maybe I need to make a video 3? Let me know down in the comments. Other than that, if you just bought the game, welcome. If you're carrying on with the game and I just gave you some extra tips on how to make some money, you're welcome. We're going to be doing more live streams. In fact, we're doing a live stream tomorrow, so join us on Twitch if you wish to do so. But other than that, be sure to smash like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.